Hi everyone. Today's video, just an off-the-cuff one, as normal. I strap a camera on the car when I'm off over to my accountant's. We're going over to St Helens, and what I thought I'd have a little talk about today is how's the Volvo getting on? And the answer is really, really good, sort of. The car's been really reliable. There's been no surprises, to be honest, with the Volvo. Don't forget, Volvo did lend me a car virtually identical to this for a week, and I was able to really, get into it and find out the goods and the bads, and they were mainly goods. It's been perfect for my need, believe it or not. I haven't got any dual controls fitted in the car yet, and that is a problem. I originally, before I took delivery of the car, I went to Volvo in Warrington and asked them directly, is there anything in the passenger footwell that would stop me fitting dual controls to this vehicle? They said, no, there's nothing. And that's not the case. I've had a couple of people try and do the dual controls, and they've both said the same thing. There's an ECU apparently fitted to the footwell, or in the footwell of this car, and it's got like a plastic bracket cover over the top, and the mounting points for the dual controls are pretty awkward. It's known what's behind it as well. I'm sure someone could do it, but I haven't got anyone to do it yet. I've been in touch with He-Man, the main dual control manufacturer in the country, and they can do a set of design to fit duals. Now, I've got in touch with them a couple of times. They said they're going to get back to me, but they've yet to get back to me. The process for that is I take the car down to Southampton. Not so bad because one of my sons lives in Southampton, but I've got to leave the car down there for a couple of weeks. Now, is that too bad? No, not really. Might even get the push bike out a little bit more, but I'm going to potentially try and borrow a couple of vehicles from manufacturers to maybe tide me over for those couple of weeks. But the lack of dual controls at this point in time hasn't affected me too much. I've got no learners. I'm just teaching driving instructors. And even the part 2 side of things, they would be insured to drive this car. It is insured for driving school purposes. But one of the parts to that is that dual controls are going to be fitted. Now, I haven't spoken to the insurance company and said to them, well, listen, what happens to the policy if dual controls aren't fitted? It's only me using it at the minute, and I'm not going to let anyone else use it. That car was going to go straight through the light there. I'm not going to let anyone use it on lessons until I've got these dual controls in. It is a bit of a sketchy one teaching without dual controls, but it is possible. It just can be a little bit more nerve-wracking. So that's it with the dual controls. It's been brilliant for the dogs. Absolutely perfect, exactly what I wanted it for. Comfort-wise, brilliant. My hip, it took an absolute battering doing the marathon. But I do think what I said about the Focus with its ride being a little harder and its seats being a little firmer and more supportive, I do think that it was partly that was causing my hip a few problems. I have got an annoying rattle round here. I am going to try and get that looked at. Economy-wise, the car's been pretty good. The mild hybrid system is pretty good, even on the little trips that I tend to do. Where are we going? We're going on the M57 today. Now sending me this way. That's fine. Yeah, economy-wise, the little trips that I do a lot of the time just to meet instructors at Norris Green Test Centre, It's been okay. I think averaging about 30 miles a gallon, which is probably 9 or 10 miles a gallon more than I was getting in the Focus. These longer trips, it's not particularly long to St Helens, it's only 10 miles or so, but these trips it's going to do well into the 40 plus miles a gallon, nearer 50. So it's everything that I really wanted. Power wise, it's got enough. I never drove the Focus spiritedly. It's just a nice place to be. It's quite understated as well. I know it's a nice car, but doesn't scream and shout at people as much as maybe something else would, which I think it just suits me. But overall, really good. How much do I use the cruise control? Not that much. In the original video when I tested this car, that it tends to keep slightly offset in the lane. I'm talking about when I tested this car, not this particular one, but the Lent one originally. It used to just keep me slightly off centre in the lane. This does exactly the same thing. So I do use it, but not that much. Any little bits that I don't like. The rattle, that needs fixing, that needs sorting out. Speed limiter. Now, this car may actually have an ability to have a limiter. It may not. I don't know. I don't know how I can maybe swap it. I've had a little look in the settings. I haven't found it quickly. Not sure whether this car's got a limiter or not. I tend to use the limiter more than the cruise control. That's maybe one thing that I miss. Apart from that, no, nothing. It's exactly what I wanted, exactly what I needed. The dual controls is the big sticking point though. I will keep you updated. Another little thing. I'll keep you updated about the dual controls, but notice there, this car rolls into things a little bit more. And looking at it in hindsight, there was a clip, I'm sure you saw it on one of my driving fails, where I was a little bit close in. There were reasons why I did it, but I've found myself doing that a little more and being a little bit close to people. And that, I don't know whether you'll be able to see it. I'm going to come off the pedals here, and the engine switched off. There's no engine here, and that pretty obviously reduces the engine brake, and it's just rolling in. Now, they're doing that for fuel efficiency, but it does tend to get you a little close to people. Engines just come back on because I had a little touch of the accelerator. Hopefully, you'll be able to see it with this camera over my shoulder. But that is one little thing that I found that I don't like too much. However, it's not something that's wrong with the car. It's just something that you've just got to slightly tweak with your driving style. I'm really conscious all the time, not using brakes. Hang on a minute. Yes, I obviously will use the brakes to slow down, but using the brakes I'm talking about unnecessarily, because it can cause and does cause problems with people behind on occasions. So I prefer to do a majority of my slowing down, as you should be doing, with adjusting the gas. And that is the bit that's just, it's way different than any of the other vehicles that I've ever had. I understand it's for fuel efficiency and understand why it's doing it. It's also recharging the mild hybrid system, but it is a little strange. Other things that I've found, just going away from this car and just going to, one of my instructors has just bought a Focus to teach in, and it's got a mild hybrid system. You come off the pedals in that and it slows down dramatically. So that you've got to keep on the gas a little bit longer. So really important for you when you do drive different cars to tweak what you're doing depending on the car that you drive. And I only realised this, that the engine totally shuts off. It did do there again. I only realised that the engine shuts off only about a week ago. I've had the car 6-8 weeks, don't even know exactly. It shows you how much I actually look at the screen in front of me. Generally, you don't need it. You pick your speed and you pick what you do off what you see out ahead. Just going on to something else that this car has probably done. I've probably been doing it now as well. I'm consciously trying to stop myself from doing it, but it's that relaxing. The armrest is in a beautiful spot. Steering's nice and relaxed. It's not twitchy. It's about 3 turns lock to lock in this car compared to about 2 in the Focus. So the steering's less sensitive. I tend to find I put my left hand down here. I'm sorry, spitting everywhere. Apologies. If you can't say it, spray it. Put my left hand down on my knee a lot, and I shouldn't do, and I know, but it does go back to, I've done a video on this before. My little habit is always to have my hands low, but this scenario, they'll be up and at it again, just in case there was any issue with the older Lexus emerging. But now I'll put my hand down in this car because the steering is less direct than the Focus. I just tend to find my elbows on the side and that hand's on the wheel. Please don't do it. It's not going to get me in a problem. I'm anticipating stuff, and if there's ever anything that's an issue, I'll have my hands back up in a boxer's guard, as I call it, on the steering wheel, properly ready to deal with it. But there are always those situations that you can't guarantee that you will be able to see. So that's the Volvo. Overall, really happy. But I've just got a few little ongoing issues that I've just got to solve. I need to get rid of that rattle, it's getting worse. In any case, thanks for tuning in. If you've got any questions, please ask them in the comments, and as normal, like the video if you can, and if you haven't done already, please press that subscribe button. It helps me get my educational videos out to more and more people. Keep safe, everyone. I'll see you soon.